Welcome to this explainer. If you're a complete beginner starting from absolute zero and you're trying to figure out the absolute best programming language and tech stack to learn in 2026, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to cut through all the noise and focus on what actually matters for your career goals, real job demand, AI trends, and actual freelancing opportunities. Let's get right into it. Because look, every single year, complete beginners get completely paralyzed by the exact same questions. You log online, you see the hype, and you immediately think, okay, should I learn Python? Or wait, what about Rust, Go, Java? Or maybe you're thinking you should just jump straight into AI programming. And it really doesn't help that clickbait is everywhere, promising these massive $300,000 salaries if you just learn the trendiest new thing. It is so incredibly overwhelming, right? But before you fall into that trap, I need you to remember one absolutely critical rule. Stop listening to people saying, learn everything. Honestly, that is the fastest way to learn absolutely nothing. Trying to tackle 3 different languages at once just because someone on a forum told you to, that's just a guaranteed recipe for burnout. To get you on the right path, here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover the 2026 coding trap, the best beginner language, JavaScript versus the rest, your actual tech stack, a 90-day roadmap, and coding in the AI era. All right, section 1, the 2026 coding trap. Let's actually define what makes a programming language useful when you have absolutely zero experience. The reality is, the best language for a beginner isn't the one with the highest average salary. Think about it. Those massive salaries, those are for senior developers with a decade of experience, not someone on day one. A new programmer really only needs 3 essential things: easy syntax so you aren't constantly fighting the language itself, huge learning resources so you can easily find answers when you get stuck, and real-world demand so you can build useful stuff and get hired as fast as possible. Section 2, the best beginner language. So what is the absolute best tool that actually fits those exact criteria for someone starting from scratch this year? Well, for 2026, my definitive recommendation for a complete beginner is JavaScript. Now, let me be perfectly clear here. I am not recommending JavaScript because it's a perfect language. It's not. And I'm not recommending it because it pays the absolute highest starting salary. It doesn't. I'm recommending it because it is basically the ultimate skeleton key for a beginner's career. And this brilliantly illustrates why it wins. Starting with just a regular web browser and absolutely zero expensive setup, JavaScript lets you build almost anything. With this one single ecosystem, you can build interactive websites, mobile apps, desktop apps, back-end APIs, which are kind of like the invisible messengers connecting different software together, and even AI interfaces. You master this one core language, and an entire universe of development just opens up to you. Section 3, JavaScript versus the rest. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't say Python, which is literally the most hyped language in the world right now. And it's true, Python is absolutely fantastic for AI, automation, and data science. But here is the beginner pitfall that nobody talks about. New coders often learn Python and get stuck in a text terminal making tiny calculator scripts, and they really struggle to transition those scripts into hireable visual products. Meanwhile, JavaScript offers immediate entry-level web and freelancing opportunities simply because literally every single business on Earth needs a website or a web application. When you look at how this maps out, matching different career goals to their ideal languages, a really clear picture emerges. If you want big enterprise jobs, Java is great. Systems programming, look at Rust. Game engines, C# is your friend. But for the broadest, most accessible path to build websites and apps, JavaScript undeniably owns the top spot. It just gives you the absolute highest probability of becoming employable right out of the gate. Section 4, your 2026 tech stack. All right, here is a massive secret. Just knowing a single programming language won't actually get you a job. You have to learn an entire ecosystem, which we call a tech stack. So for 2026, here's how this builds. Start with HTML and CSS for your structure and style. Then move to JavaScript for interactivity. Pick up React to easily snap user interfaces together, Node.js to power your server, and PostgreSQL to store your data. This specific combination is enough to build anything from booking systems to SaaS products, which is just software you subscribe to online. It's one ecosystem, but endless opportunities.
But I gotta give you the brutal truth right now. Most beginners fail. They watch coding tutorials for 6 months straight. They try to learn 5 different languages simultaneously. They build absolutely nothing of their own, and then they just quit. To actually succeed, you need to spend 80% of your time actually building projects. Because a programming language doesn't get you hired, a portfolio does.
Section 5. The 90-day roadmap. To make sure you don't get stuck in that dreaded tutorial hell, follow this exact timeline for your first 3 months. In month 1, focus purely on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript basics to build a personal portfolio and a working to-do app. In month 2, step up to React and build a weather app or a blog front end that pulls in live web data. Finally, in month 3, tackle the backend with Node.js and PostgreSQL to build a secure login system and an admin dashboard. Do this, and you're not just a beginner anymore. You actually have a portfolio ready for junior roles or freelance gigs. Section 6. Coding in the AI era. Finally, we have to address the massive elephant in the room, the fear that AI is just going to replace coding entirely. Let's clear the air. What is actually happening is that AI is replacing developers who can only write isolated snippets of code. But if you know how to wire up databases, manage user authentication, and integrate AI services together into a cohesive, complete product, you become incredibly valuable. You become the architect. This quote hits the nail on the head. The future is not AI or coding. The future is coding with AI. By mastering one ecosystem deeply, like that JavaScript stock we just went over, and building real projects, you secure your place in a future where coding with AI is your true superpower. And hey, once you have those foundational skills, you can always learn Python or any other language later if your career demands it. So I'm curious, drop a comment below with 2026 beginner and tell me exactly what language you were originally planning to learn before this explainer. I'll actually reply with the fastest roadmap for your specific goal. But I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. In a world where AI can write 100 lines of code in a second, the most valuable skill isn't knowing how to type syntax anymore. It's knowing exactly what to build next. So are you going to let AI build the future for you, or are you going to learn the stack to build it yourself? Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next explainer.